It's another wonderful Monday morning, a Monday afternoon. Yeah, from the nation's capital, yeah, in Monrovia. Today happens to be February 10th, 2025. A pleasant good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the program, The King's Local Daily, right here on King's Radio, double 8.5, and streaming live on Cloud TV and our YouTube channel. For those of you watching us live, I'd like to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever your time zone may be. It's good to have you following on this wonderful Monday afternoon from the nation's capital, here in Monrovia. My name is Otis Sanka. I'm here with you this afternoon to flip through the various local dealers and give you some of the big stories that are making news. From the various print news on the newsstands this wonderful Monday afternoon. Be my guest as we flip through the various local dealers and give you some of the big stories this afternoon. Let's take a taste of our team song when we return. We'll start to flip through the various newspapers from the newsstands this wonderful Monday afternoon. So welcome back. It's good to have you listening this wonderful and pleasant Monday afternoon. For those of you watching us live, I'm encouraging you to keep your comments coming through to some of the big stories that are making news on the various local dailies this afternoon. And trust me, I'm going to read it out for you on the program. Our very first stop on today's edition of the program, the King's Local Daily, is the Hot Pepper newspaper. Volume 8, number 11595, Monday, February 10, 2025. So for just $40 Liberian, grab yourself a copy of the Hot Pepper newspaper and read in detail. Front page, major stories. For not attending President Bouakar's State of the Nation address, State of the Nation address, House of Representative petition to impeach Chief Justice Yor. Wow. I see the photograph of Chief Justice Sianen Yor. It's right here on the front page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Still on the front page. Rosterlane Swakoko Dennis suspended. For what? I don't know. Grab yourself a copy of the Hot Pepper newspaper and read in detail. You're going to know why she was suspended for. Kofi Wu perpetual silence question. Amidst documented human rights violations, brutalities, killings, repression in government. Kofi Wu perpetual silent question. The photograph of Anthony Samuel Kofi Wu, National Security Advisor to President Bouakar, is right here, along with His Excellency Joseph Yuma Bouakar. They're all right here on the front page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Let's flip to the back page quickly. CSNL, that's the Civil Society Network of Liberia, a manufacturer corruption scam against Noka boss. Hey. The Civil Society Network of Liberia had described as a baseless and unfounded allegation of corruption paraded in the public by some purported journalists and activists that the Chief Executive Officer of National Oil Company of Liberia, Rosterlane Swakoko Dennis, has been caught in the web of corruption. The photograph of Rosterlane Swakoko Dennis is right here. She's the president of, that's the CEO and of the National Oil Company of Liberia, Noka. She's right there on the back page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Still on the back page. Nasu debunk corruption allegation against Post Telecommunication Minister Koman. Urges accuser to do due diligence. What is Nasu? I don't know. Grab yourself a copy of the Hot Pepper newspaper and read in detail. PYJ party renewed commitment to rescue agenda. A May 2029 speculation. Somebody say the time still long. PYJ party renewed commitment to rescue agenda. A May 2029 speculations. Still on the back page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Board of Tax Appeal continues regional workshop in Grand Bassa. We see some of the delegates right here on the back page of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Let's run for the editorial quickly. The editorial of the Hot Pepper newspaper reads, Electronic Government Procurement System Strengthen Liberia Fight Against Corruption. Electronic Government Procurement System Strengthen Liberia Fight Against Corruption. That's the editorial of the Hot Pepper newspaper. Our next stop is the Front Page Africa newspaper. The Front Page Africa newspaper, volume 18, number 26. Sold for $40 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy and read in detail. Front page, major stories. Impartial speaker ends medical leaves after being named person of interest in Azon case. Via legal action, says majority bloc move. Not a fight. It is a coup. Wow. I see some supporters and well-wishers of the embattled House Speaker Jonathan Funati-Kofa gathered at the grounds of the Rabat International Airport to welcome him back to Liberia after his medical leave in the United States. Still on the front page of the Front Page Africa newspaper, growth in rural poverty and inequality wrecks security warned. That growth in rural poverty and inequality wrecks security warned experts. We are suffering at the hospital. If you don't have money, you won't get treatment. Where am I to get money when my husband isn't working? Things are tough, and every morning I worry about what to do. Master call you, farmer Bon County. Wow. Milestone for Enfield. Liberia Public Health Institute selected as Africa CDC Center for Excellence. Wow. Stay on the front page of the Front Page Africa newspaper. Boosting power generation. Government endorses Gensa Energy 270 megawatts harbor gas power plant proposal to enhance national energy security. There's another story on the Front Page Africa newspaper. We are disappointed. For what? Diaspora elect condemns President Bouaka provocation comments against Liberians in the diaspora. We flip to the back page quickly of the Front Page Africa newspaper. It says U.S. ambassador reaffirms strong partnership with Liberia in maritime education sector. That's another story on the back page of the Front Page Africa newspaper. Keep a comments coming through for those of you watching live on our Cloud TV and our YouTube channel. Trust me, I'm going to read it out for you. And your comments should be in relation with some of the big stories that are making news for the various newspaper on the newsstands on this wonderful Monday afternoon. Let's run for the editorial of the Front Page Africa newspaper. The Front Page Africa editorial, it reads, the editorial reads, President Bouaka must extend accountability beyond selective cases. President Bouaka must extend accountability beyond selective cases. That's the editorial of the Front Page Africa newspaper. We're still flipping through. In case you're just joining us, I'd like to say good afternoon and welcome to the program, The King's Local Daily, with me, Otis Sankan. It's on a Monday afternoon. And we are flipping through some of the various local dailies from the newsstands and giving some of the big stories that are making news. Our next stop is the New Liberia, One nation, one people, one destiny is the motto. Volume 46, number 739. Sold for $30 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy and read in detail. Front page, major stories. Tackling Liberia Electricity Challenge. Tackling Liberia Electricity Challenge. VP Kun leads stakeholders to retreat. The photograph of Vice President Jeremiah Kun is right here on the front page of the New Liberia newspaper. Liberia observes Armed Forces Days tomorrow. Government declares February 11 national holiday. We flip to the back page quickly and see what is reporting for us this morning on the program, The King's Look of Delhi. For a UN non-permanent Security Council seat, Ambassador Brown rallied Liberians to support country bid. The photograph of Ambassador Louis G. Brown and UN envoys right here on the back page of the New Liberia newspaper. Stay on the back page. Mika Boss filed to reactivate Liberia National Culture Center. Mika Boss vows to reactivate Liberia National Culture Center. The photograph of Jalinic Matthew Pierre is the boss of the Ministry of the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism. Still the back page. LRA Capstone Officer snatch Global Standard Award. LRA Custom Officer snatch Global Standard Award. There's another story here on the back page of the New Liberia newspaper. We run for the editorial quickly. The editorial of the New Liberia newspaper reads, thumbs up to AFL, happy 68th Armed Forces Day celebration. Is editorial of the New Liberia newspaper. Still flipping through. In case you just tuning in, I'd like to say good afternoon and welcome. Thanks so much for watching us, wherever you're watching us from. I'd like to say good afternoon and welcome. Thanks so much for listening, wherever you listening to us from on the program, The King's Look of Delhi, on this wonderful Monday afternoon. Our next stop is the Liberian investigator in pursuit of truth and integrity. So for $50 Liberian, volume 1, number 17. Front page, major stories. Morgan Liberians in the diaspora. Morgan Liberians in the diaspora. President Joseph Boakai faces backlash for ridiculing Liberians in the U.S. amid deportation fears, despite their $800 million annual contribution to Liberian economy and heavy financial support for his campaign. Critics call his remark insensitive and hypocritical. The photograph of Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, is right here, along with U.S. President Donald Trump. Stay on the front page of the Liberian Investigator. Solving the power crisis, Liberia approved Gensa Energy 270 megawatts gas plants to boost power access and grid stability. Okay, there's another story here on the front page of the Liberian Investigators. Suspended NEC chair left with no screw to hold. Election magistrates distanced themselves from support seeking to reinstate Director Brown Lasana. This is right here on the front page of the Liberian Investigator newspaper. The Methodist Enigma, 72nd United Methodist, severe ties with United Methodist Church over allegation of endorsing same-sex marriage. There's another story here on the front page of the Liberian Investigator. We'll flip to the back page quickly to see what it is reporting for us this afternoon. And it's all about sports. SWAT urges government to reconsider youth football funding cut. The National Basketball Award ceremony poorly attended. For what I don't know, grab yourself a copy of the Liberian Investigator. We run for the editorial quickly of the Liberian Investigator to see what it has for us. The editorial of the Liberian Investigator reads, selected justice will doom Liberian fight against corruption. Selected justice will doom Liberia fight against corruption. Is the editorial of the Liberian Investigator. Stay flipping through on the program The King's Local Daily this afternoon with me, Otis Sanka. Our next stop is the Daily Observer newspaper, volume 25, number 25. Sold for $40 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy and read in detail. Front page, major stories. Government moves to solve the electricity crisis. Endorses Gensa Energy 270 megawatts hybrid gas power plant proposal. Government moves to solve the electricity crisis. Endorses Gensa Energy 270 megawatts hybrid gas power plant proposal. The photograph of President Joseph Yuma Boaka is right here on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. God time is the best. Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence celebrates the long-awaited reconciliation and reunification of the party after 4 years of internal strife. The photograph of Liberty Party political leader Yomli Kanga Lawrence and Mosharada County District 1 Representative Roger Barry is right here on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. Boaka suspend local CEO over alleged corruption. The photograph of Rostalyn Swakoko Dennis. She's the CEO of the Liberia National Oil Company. She's right here on the front page of the Daily Observer newspaper. LTA new US $4.6 million headquarters take shape. Chairman promises cutting-edge technologies that could help boost the viability of the telecom sector. We flip to the back page quickly of the Daily Observer. UN urges Liberia to enact permanent ban on FGM. UN urges Liberia to enact permanent ban on FGM as moratorium expires. We see Bon County District Number 6 Representative Chair on the Gender Committee at the 55th National Legislature, Madam Muhammad Bridge Menza, and UN Resident Coordinator in Liberia, Comfort Lante. They are right here on the back page of the Daily Observer newspaper. Still on the back page of the Daily Observer newspaper. Enfield named Africa CDC Center of Excellence. Enfield named Africa CDC Center of Excellence. The photograph of a Director General, Dr. Dubas Crazian, is right here on the back page of the Daily Observer newspaper. What I do it for the Daily Observer newspaper, our next stop is the Inquirer newspaper. The Inquirer is our next stop on the program, The King's Local Daily this afternoon, with me, Otis Sanka. The Inquirer, volume 34, number 18, sold for $40 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy. Front page, major stories. United Methodist to decide in Banga has 104-92nd annual section kick-off tomorrow. United Methodist to decide in Banga has 192nd annual section kicks off tomorrow. Enfield named Africa CDC Center of Excellence is another story on the front page of the Inquirer newspaper. Liberia Ambassador destined to Ghana, Other Bay, Kwanun Fairway. We flip to the back page quickly. Ministry of Local Government Insight has sent a Pew Internal Affairs Ministry. Ministry of Local Government Insight has Senate repeal Internal Affairs Ministry. It's another story on the back page of the Inquirer newspaper. Stay on the back page. French government scholarship program graduate 36 Liberians. Wow. Let's run for the editorial quickly of the Inquirer newspaper on today's edition of the program, The King's Local Daily. The editorial of the Inquirer newspaper reads, "Rejoice not when your neighbor's house is on fire." Rejoice not when your neighbor's house is on fire. It's the editorial of the Inquirer newspaper. Indeed, if you are just joining us, it's a reminder that you're in tune to King's Local Daily. This is why we converge to give you some of the big stories that are making news from the various newspaper on the newsstands on the Monday afternoon like this. I was saying Monday morning. Yeah. Well, we are shifted the time, from the morning hour to the afternoon. So it's good to have you watching. And it's also good to have you listening. Some of our religious followers. Our next stop is the Verity newspaper, volume 1, number 84. So for $40 Liberian. Front page, major stories. Diplomat dies due to no insurance. Liberian ambassador sinks in crisis. Diplomat dies due to no insurance. Liberian's ambassador sinks in crisis. The photograph of Foreign Affairs Minister Madam Sarah Besloyanti is right here on the front page of the Verity newspaper. Still on the front page, Noka Box asks Bouaka suspend Dennis for corruption. Kofa vows not to recognize Kun as speaker. The photograph of House Speaker Jonathan Fonanti Kofa is right here on the front page of the Verity newspaper. Youth torture in Chinese national compound. There's another story on the front page of the Verity newspaper. We flip to the back page quickly to see what it is reporting for us. Who replaces PYJ as NEC prepares for by-elections? Sarah Kennedy, all right here on the back page of the Verity newspaper. Some of those candidates are Representative Samuel Koga, former Representative Garrison Yelu, and as former Superintendent of Nimba County, Edith Gungower is also here on the back page of the Verity newspaper. Liberty Party ends 4 years of internal wrangling. They dedicate at the just end convention of the Liberty Party. All right here on the back page of the Verity newspaper. See on the back page. LEC suspends manager for public affairs over allegation. Allegation for what? I don't know. Grab yourself a copy of the Verity newspaper and read in detail. Let's run for the editorial right now of the Verity newspaper. Bouaka, anti-corruption fight must go beyond suspension. Bouaka, anti-corruption fight must go beyond suspension. That's the editorial of the Verity newspaper. Indeed, if you are just joining us, here's a reminder that you are in tune to the King's Local Daily on this wonderful Monday afternoon with me, Otis Sankan. And for those of you watching us live on our YouTube channel and our Cloud TV page, I'd like to encourage you to keep your comments coming through to some of the big stories that are making news on the program this afternoon. And trust me, I'm going to read it out for you. And most of the comments should be in relation with some of the big stories from the various local daily on the newsstands this afternoon. Stay flipping through. The Heritage newspaper is our next stop. The authoritative Heritage newspaper, volume 28, number 355672. Sold for $40 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy. Front page, major story. They are enjoying themselves and talking on Facebook. President Boubacar slam critics. They are enjoying themselves and talking on Facebook. President Boubacar slam critics. Let me take this story again. While I am working to develop Liberia, they are enjoying themselves and talking on Facebook. President Boubacar slam critics. Wow. The photograph of President Joseph Yuma Boubacar officially dedicating the presidential sanitary project in Bomi County. At the AFL 68th anniversary, President Mada Bio to serve as guest of honor and keynote speaker. The photograph of Sierra Leonean President Dr. Julius Mada Bio is right here on the front page of the authoritative Heritage newspaper. Liberia historic bid. President Boubacar to launch national rally for UN Security Council seat today. The photograph of Louis G. Brown, Liberia ambassador to the UN, is right here on the front page of the authoritative Heritage newspaper. We flip to the back page quickly. Political firestorms as Liberia's Chief Justice faces impeachment petition. Suspension of NOCA CEO raises question. For what I don't know. I don't know why it raises questions. All you need to do is to grab yourself a copy of the Heritage newspaper and read in detail. Let's run for the editorial quickly of the Heritage newspaper. The editorial of the Heritage newspaper reads, please heed our renewed caveats. Please heed our renewed caveats. That's the editorial of the Heritage newspaper. Our next stop is the Analyst newspaper, Liberia's most analytical newspaper for those who strive for better Liberia. Volume 26, number 80, February 10th, 2025, sold for just $40 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy. Front page, major stories. Go for it. It will be a big win. Go for it. It will be a big win. Liberian launch campaign today for the UN Security Council non-permanent seat. The photograph of President Joseph Yuma Boubacar, along with Liberia's ambassador to the United Nations, Mr. Louis Brown. They are right here on the front page of the Analyst newspaper. National Advisory Council Chairperson Councillor Charlene Bronski-Dennis. She said, like Liberty Party, Liberia must reconcile. Charlene cautioned partisans against taking unity for granted. She on the front page of the Analyst newspaper. Bronski's spirit found joy in 5 years. LP finally reconciled. Elect official at conventions. The photograph of a Senate Pro Tem and a political leader of a Liberty Party, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, along with the chairperson of the Liberty Party, Representative Rashid Bari. They are right here on the front page of the Analyst newspaper. Keep your comments coming through for those of you watching us. And trust me, I'm going to read it out for you. And I'm urging you that your comments should be in line with some of the big stories that are making news from the various local dailies on the newsstands this Monday afternoon. The back page of the Analyst newspaper. Judy Andy gets her flowers as government unveil arts and culture galleries. Judy Andy gets her flowers as government unveil arts and culture galleries. The photograph of former cultural ambassador Judy Andy and Jarlene Matthew Pia. He's the information minister. They are right here on the back page of the Analyst newspaper. Nobel accolade for infill under Dr. Yang. Africa CDC designates its regional center of excellence. The photograph of Dubek Chris Yang. He's the director general of the Liberia National Public Health Institute. Damning critiques targeting Kofi Woods. Damning critiques targeting Kofi Woods. Sheriff points out shameful mutilation of the presidential advisor. The photograph of the security advisor to President Joseph Yuma Boaka, Samuel Kofi, was right here on the back page of the Analyst newspaper. Mining meet Teresa Noir Kwa, mine superintendent at Aslamita. It's another story on the back page of the Analyst newspaper. Let's run for the editorial quickly. The editorial reads. The editorial of the Analyst newspaper reads: Liberia wins of permanent UN Security Council seat is national pride. Let's all support it. Let us all support it. Is the editorial of the Analyst newspaper. Keep your comments coming through for some of you watching us on the Class TV, our YouTube channel. And your comments should be in line with some of the major stories that are making news on the program, The King's Local Daily this afternoon on King's Radio and Cloud TV. Our next stop is the Women Voices newspaper. Volume 13, number 138. Sold for $40 Liberian. Front page, major stories. Every part of Liberia is in crisis. Every part of Liberia is in crisis. Former Chief Justice calls for ethical leadership. The photograph of our Councillor Glorious Musu Scott. She's right here on the front page of the Women Voices newspaper. Political resurgence. Political resurgence cut short as President Boaka suspend NUCA CEO, former lawmaker. The photograph of President Joseph Yuma Boaka and a NUCA CEO and former representative of District Number 4, Montserrat County, Rostalyn Swakoko Dennis. They are right here on the front page of the Women Voices newspaper. Ending FGM is not a Western agenda. Representative Mensa Eshet as Liberia commemorates International Day of Zero Tolerance on FGM. That's female genital mutilation. Still on the back page of the Women Voices, setting Onokun leadership who means legitimizing his speakership. In Battle House Speaker, Councillor J. Fonanti Kofa has disclosed. The photograph of House Speaker Jonathan Fonanti Kofa, along with Representative Richard Namwekun, is right here on the back page of the Women Voices newspaper. Stay on the back page. Joel Starfish Foundation opens training hub for our city. What a good start. National Council of Chiefs aired as a National Council of Chiefs Chairman France on anti-FGM advocacy. It's another story on the the back page of the Women Voices newspaper. I see Chief Arthur Doak. He's the chairman of the Council of Chiefs of Liberia on the back page of the Women Voices. Still on the back page, activists reject Representative Johnson S.N. Williams' appointment to House Committee on Gender. For what I don't know, just grab yourself a copy of the Women Voices newspaper and read in detail. Let's run for the editorial quickly. The editorial of the Women Voices newspaper reads, Breaking the Chains of Tradition, a call to end the FGM in Liberia. Breaking the Chains of Tradition, a call to end FGM in Liberia. That's female genital mutilation. Our next stop on the program this afternoon is the Independent newspaper, Liberia's most investigative newspaper. Volume 23, number 495, sold for $50 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy. Front page, major stories. Government rallies citizen supports, launches UN Security Council seat bid today. Government rallies citizen supports, launches UN Security Council seat bid today. The photograph of Joseph Yoma Boaka and our Foreign Minister Sarah Besto Yanti and Liberia Ambassador to the United Nations Louis G. Brown. They are right here on the front page of the Independent newspaper. Stay on the front page. Sten craves robust transparency. Sten craves robust transparency. The photograph of our Sten chairman, Maduba Molu, is right here on the front page of the Independent newspaper. We flip to the back page quickly of the Independent newspaper to see what it is reporting. FGM practices on increase. In 15 counties, gender minister alarms one such practice criminalized. The photograph of our gender minister, Bremen Horace Colley, is right here on the back page of the Independent newspaper. Internal affairs procure vehicles for county superintendents. Internal affairs procure vehicles for county superintendents. We run for the editorial of the Independent newspaper. The editorial of the Independent newspaper reads, Monrovia must negotiate with Washington. Monrovia must negotiate with Washington. For what? I don't know. Grab yourself a copy of the Independent newspaper and read in detail. Indeed, if you are just joining us, it's a reminder that you're in tune to King's Local Daily. This is why we converse to give you some of the big stories that are making news from the various newspapers on the newsstands. And today is Monday, February 10th, 2025. Our next stop on the program is the Oracle News Daily, protecting the truth or reporting the truth to you. Front page, major stories. Facts and lies in the car procurement deal, pulling President acts on company CEO. Facts and lies in the car procurement deal, pulling President acts on company CEO. The photograph of Rostalin Suwa Kokodanis. She's the CEO of the National Oil Company of Liberia. Still on the front page of the Oracle News Daily. House petition to impeach Chief Justice. For what? I don't know. Grab yourself a copy of the Oracle News Daily. Let's flip to the back page quickly. Over 200 cultural artifacts lodged in gallery to promote heritage and tourism. Over 200 cultural artifacts lodged in gallery to promote heritage and tourism. War Custom Organization honors LRA staff for setting global standard. We see some of the honorees displaying a certificates of our awards. We run for the editorial of the Oracle News Daily. The editorial reads, How to End AIDS Dependence in Liberia is the editorial. How to End AIDS Dependence in Liberia is the editorial of the Oracle News Daily. Our next and final stop for today's edition of the program is the newspaper, the nation's news since 1989, volume 35, number 201. Sold for $40 Liberian. Grab yourself a copy and read in detail. Front page, major stories. Noka boss hook in alleged corruption, suspended to face LACC investigation. Noka boss hook in alleged corruption, suspended to face LACC investigation. The photograph of our suspended Noka CEO, Madam Rosalind Swakoko Dennis, is right here on the front page of the newspaper. Stay on the front page. Kofi returns to honor Go-Probe in Capitol Anson attack case. The photograph of House Speaker, Councillor Jonathan Fernandes Kofi is right here on the front page of the newspaper. Beer Factory lawyers probe for juror tampering. Beer Factory lawyers probe for juror tampering. The photograph of Councillor Albert Sims is right here on the front page of the newspaper. We flip to the back page quickly to see what it is reporting for us on the program this afternoon. The back page, US 2 million health center unveiled. US 2 million health center unveiled. President Bwaka dedicating the Manjua Health Center. Yeah. Manufacturer corruption, blackmail. CSNL on reports leading to suspension of oil CEO. It's another story on the back page of the newspaper. Stay on the back page. Crime is not transferable, says Labour Minister cry into nomination of trafficking. Crime is not transferable, says Labour Minister cry into nomination of traffickers. The photograph of a Labour Minister, Councillor Cooper W. Christ, right here on the back page of the newspaper. Still on the back page, journalist denounces increased human rights violation under Unity Party, Rice National Security Advisor. Journalist denounces increased human rights violation under Unity Party, Rice National Security Advisor. The photograph of our journalist Sekou Sharif is the CEO of the Voice of Liberia. VP Kun calls for collaborative solution to Liberia electricity challenges. Somebody say, but I ain't get money. So how will I contribute? The photograph of a Vice President Jeremiah Kun is right here on the back page of the newspaper. Stay on the back page. PYJ MDR re-echoes commitment to rescue agenda amid 2029 speculation. That's one for the editorial quickly of the newspaper. The editorial reads. The editorial of the newspaper reads. Decision for one house is laudable, but what? I don't know. Grab yourself a copy of the newspaper and read in detail. With that, this is how I would like to draw the curtains on this Monday afternoon edition of the program, The King's Local Daily, with me, Otis Sanka. But before we take a leave of you, let's read some of the comments that have been filtering through our live feed here this afternoon on the program. Gay Caesar Divine Grace Baza Jr., one of my regular followers on the program, The King's Local Daily, he said, "Good morning, Otis. I'm following from Baton Rouge, Quebec. Corruption have built a friendship with this Bwaka government. No more fight, but partnership." His Gay Caesar Divine Grace Baza Jr. writes. James Library watching live from the West Point. Thanks so much for watching, James Library. James Library comes again and says, the most doid information minister. Okay. Yasa Sherry is watching. Thanks so much, Yasa Sherry. She didn't state what she's watching for. But thanks so much for watching. Imadua, bro, one of our regular followers on the program, The King's Look at it. They say, good afternoon, Otis Sanka. Good afternoon, James, bro. That's Imara, bro. Thanks so much for always being there. He said, good afternoon, Otis Sanka, and my fellow viewer of our King's Look at Delhi. Thanks so much, Imara, bro. Always following us through YouTube. Samuel Hollywood. He said, wow. Sophie Blambo say, I'm watching. Thanks so much, Sophie Blambo. Gail Caesar Divine Grace Basil Jr. comes again and say, for not attending Sona, the Chief Justice is in serious problem with Bwaka and he will do everything possible to remove her. Josephine Sate Moa Aminsa says, I'm watching. Thanks so much for watching. And many thanks to all of you who always play in the listening role. Thanks so much for watching and listening. The program returns tomorrow, same station at 11 o'clock. But till then, have yourself a wonderful time. Otis Sankan is my name, I presenter. Thanks for watching and listening. Good afternoon.